business was focusing on retail arbitrage and wholesale, mostly wholesale when I came to y'all. And the challenges were creating a system where there was usable numbers to make strategic choices on, where to go, where to take the business and stuff like that. And so that was definitely a struggle. Prior to coming to y'all, I was using an accountant that was the old school, everything was manual, where we streamlined everything, not to mention the cost of accounting went down. So all of that, costs went down, usable numbers went up. Things were streamlined. I'm not spending near the amount of time before like I was beforehand. And so, all of that is helpful. You get a new tool in your life that you didn't know about that tool. And you're like, how did I ever live without this tool? And that's kind of, it's like, how did I live without MuseMinded in my Amazon business beforehand? And the reality is it was very frustrating. The account that I had before, it was like, I was constantly having to correct them, telling them where to put things. It's like, who's the bookkeeper here? Is it me or you? Whereas now coming to y'all, it's like, you understand the Amazon seller. So there is none of that. We have discussions, but it's not like the basic stuff like I was having to deal with beforehand. Having more strategic conversations, being able to analyze, numbers, what's working, what's not working, all that kind of stuff.
Would you say there's any one specific feature that sticks out to you most?
Well, I think that one of the biggest things beforehand was everything was being done manually. So the fact that y'all have tools that manually grab Amazon data and pulls it right into stuff, and automatically grabbing credit cards, easily reconciling things.
Are there any other sort of benefits you'd tell someone who's considering a service like ours?
I think the biggest thing that I would tell somebody is like, if you're, there's that tipping point where you start outsourcing things, right? It's like you do everything yourself and then you want to hand that off to somebody else. And so I would say if it's somebody at that point, even if it's somebody that's, multi-million-dollar level, currently with an existing accountant, is to analyze how seamless is the process of your bookkeeping, or how stressful is it, and can things be simplified? And if it can be simplified, or if you think there might be a way, I would guess to say MuseMinded has figured out how to, automatically do that process, or just optimize that process to where, it's going to make things just life a lot easier. You don't just look at the books and say, here you go, like you're willing to have a conversation about it. Those more strategic moves, that's the whole point of the bookkeeping, right? Is to be able to not just legally keep you bound, but to help you make good strategic choices.